Hey guys, what's up? So I actually haven't made a video in a while, and I wanted to make this one on behalf of the 49ers over here. And just the season's over. There's 1 week left, but against the Seahawks, that'll be an L. Chalk up another one, leaving us at 2 wins on the season. And I just wanted to make a little recap of the entire season and what looking forward to. Already looking at the draft, coaching, GM, the team. Um, so yeah, last season after Jim Harbaugh was gone, Jim Tomsula came in, went 5-11. Nobody liked him. I mean, maybe some people did, but for the most part, nobody liked him. And at this point, right now, 5-11 looks fantastic. Gonna finish 2-14 with Chip Kelly. When he first came in, I was excited. Most people didn't like him. People in Philly didn't like him. A lot of people didn't want him on the 49ers, saying, he's not a good football coach, doesn't deserve to be in the NFL. His system is college. He's going to get players hurt on defense for them being on the field too long. But, as a Kaepernick fan, things have changed a little bit on that front. But as a Kaepernick fan, I was excited. I thought it would be another chance for him with that system because it was similar to what he ran in college. And I thought it would give him a better chance to be successful than Jim Tomsula and Jeep's offense last season. So I was excited. And then on the defensive front, I didn't really believe them being hurt. I know he has his regimen or whatever, his routine at practice to try to keep players healthy, hydrated. Bottom line, I didn't really believe it. I hadn't really been upfront and personal to what happened in Philly, all that trading and everything. So I realized that he took a different role upon coming to the 49ers with Trent Baalke and Jed York. But I realized that he wasn't going to be in charge of all that. Trent Baalke was. I don't realize if that's any better, but he was just going to be for the football aspect of coaching. So I didn't worry about where any players like Carlos Hyde or Kaepernick or Gabbert, but Navarro Bowman, Eric Reed. I didn't really realize or worry about where any of them would go because I knew they wouldn't be traded. As for the defense, that quickly went away when Rashard Robinson, a rookie, got hurt. Eric Reed, torn pectoral, I believe. Achilles for Bo. Eric Armstead got hurt. DeForest Buckner got hurt. Aaron Lynch was suspended. I believe Antoine Bethea got hurt. Everybody was getting hurt, and it was pretty shocking. That just doesn't happen. I believe Chip Kelly, I guess his offense did have something to play into with that. But bottom line, his offense wasn't producing either. So if you're an offensive-minded coach like that and you're going to have the defense on the field that long because you want to because you want to do a fast-paced offense and you want to score points, if everybody's getting hurt, it's still bad, but winning games and scoring points would take a little bit off of that. But the offense wasn't producing either. So a question I have for y'all is, do y'all want Chip Kelly to be there next season? As for me, I believe he will be there because that front office, they don't know what they're doing. They don't want to find anybody else. They don't want to admit they were wrong again. So Chip Kelly will probably be there next season, even though I don't want him to be. But it's not completely his fault. The 49ers were obviously tanking. But on that aspect, playing into who we have on the team and looking at the draft, another question I had, we're going to have the number 2 pick. We had the number 1 pick until we got that win against LA for the second time, our only 2 wins. We had the number 1 pick because the Browns won, and due to the strength of our schedule, I believe we would have had the number 1 pick, but then we got that Rams win. So we'll most likely, it might already be locked in, the number 2 overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. And with the number 2 pick, I do not believe Deshaun Watson is worth that number 2 pick. There's a lot of quarterback-hungry teams. Obviously, that is the focal point of your football team. And quarterback talent right now is difficult. People like Brock Osweiler and now talking about Glennon and stuff. All these people getting paid Um, just because there's not talent. They don't want to wait that long. They're in win now mode. So paying these mediocre quarterbacks who haven't even started that many games, it's needed. But so Deshaun Watson, I don't believe he's worth the number 2 pick, but I do want him to be a 49er. But with that being said, I do not believe he will be there in round 2. So so that's something to look at. But the reason I'm saying this is because if he's not available in round 2, um, Kaepernick did restructure his contract, and he's pretty much auditioning for his next team. And he's honestly not doing that bad of a job. But if he were to be a 49er next season, or if they had that option, would y'all want him back? Because with that lack of talent, are we going to find a better option than Colin Kaepernick? I mean, in reality, sure, he doesn't read defenses that well. He has a bunch of theatrics going on in the background, but when he's on that football field, does he give the team the best chance to win at next season? Is there somebody we can get in free agency, or would it drafting a rookie and starting him right away with not a lot of talent around him? Does that give us a better chance to win than Kaepernick would, or do you believe we're just in tanking mode now for seasons to come? With that being said, Kaepernick is doing what he's doing right now, with a subpar offensive line. No receiver on the team deserves to be number 1. Torrey Smith is a number 2 at best. Everybody else, Rod Streeter, Chris Harper, Quentin Patton, in reality, they may not even deserve to start. So with no superstar at a wide receiver, with our tight end Selleck getting hurt and McDonald basically just there to block, he makes a few catches every once in a while, but for the most part, not very good catching the football. So nobody to really pass it to. Carlos Hyde is injury prone. What do y'all believe will happen with the quarterback situation, and who do you think would give the 49ers the best chance to win? Whether that be Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Kaiser, Kaya, Glennon, somebody like Glennon, Cutler, Kaepernick, Gabbert, anybody. Who do y'all think would be the best chance to get that team going in the right direction? Whether we're tanking for years to come or whatever. But I guess the next talking point would probably be Carlos Hyde. Where do y'all think would be a good place in the draft to get another running back? Or that's another thing, free agency. But the reason I'm saying this is I love Carlos Hyde. Great runner, great bruising back, has some speed, gets yards after tackles, great in the red zone, shows ability to catch the ball. He's big, he can block, but he was on the IR last season. He had, I believe he's only 24 years old, but he was on the IR for his foot. He had concussion, I believe. He just sprained or tore his MCL. He's shown, I guess this might have been with the concussion, but I believe he was at a different point. He just showed dizziness in his head. With how he runs, maybe that plays into it. But in reality, he's only been in the NFL for 3 or 4 seasons. Where should we get another running back at? Because when he goes down, Mike Davis, Sean Drone, Dwan Harris, sure, they're decent, but I mean, we need a good running back, and I don't know if Carlos Hyde's going to be able to produce that for years to come with him getting injured literally every single season. Also, I mean, so that's basically the offense. I mean, for running backs, Carlos Hyde gets injured too much. We don't have any top tier receivers. Tight ends are in a bad place. Quarterbacks up in the air. I mean, Joe Staley is one of the best players on the team. Obviously the best offensive lineman, but he's getting up there in age, and he's not going to be there for that much longer. Zane Beadle's decent. We just drafted Joshua Garnett. Daniel Kilgore's injury prone. Trevor Brown, Andrew Tiller, they're inconsistent. I mean, the offense is horrible. So obviously we were tanking this season. There's games that we should have won that we didn't because we were playing to lose. And that me more than anybody else, most likely that pains me to say because I never wanted to believe that after being in the Super Bowl and NFC Championship just a few years back. The defense is in a little bit of better state. Rashard Robinson, he was a great pickup. DeForest Buckner, I believe, has 6 or 7 sacks on his rookie season, and I believe he missed a couple games. And him with Eric Armstead, that's great. Maybe somebody in the draft like Myles Garrett could be one of those to put him at the end to get a good defensive end to get some pressure off the edges with Aaron Lynch. Navarro Bowman will be back. Eric Reed, Antoine Bethea is getting up there. Eric Reed, though, he's fine. Jaquiski Tartt. We have all these hard-hitting safeties that probably, I guess that's where they're best suited for, but they could play different positions and maybe be more successful because they're just trying to lay the lumber out there. They're not too hot in coverage. Eric Reed, not the fastest. He's always looking for the big hit. He gets blown over the top late to help the corners. Antoine Bethea showing he's getting up there in age. Even though I like him, I still want him to be there. He's getting up there in age. He's starting to be inconsistent, getting burned in the Steelers game. Obviously, more games. The team's in a bad spot though. Phil Dawson's getting old. Might be there a couple more seasons. It's really everything. So Jed York should not be the owner of the football team. He's messed it up in a few short years. It's really pretty impressive how fast he messed up an elite football team that was at the top. Trent Baalke drafting all these people with big injuries, ACL, trying to recover, trying to get steals, but we need people to play now, and I don't think he's shown effectiveness in what he's doing. He didn't spend any money in free agency. He's not cutting it. Chip Kelly should go back to Oregon, or he shouldn't be an NFL coach, or he needs to change his ways. Defensive coordinator Jim O'Neill sucks. The key players on our team, that Joe Staley, Antoine Bethea, Phil Dawson, they're all getting older. They won't be there much longer. And honestly, they don't deserve to be on the team that they are right now. They deserve a chance to compete for a Super Bowl and get that ring because Joe Staley, all those games he played without missing any, never complains, always does his job. He doesn't deserve to be on this football team that has 2 wins, busting his ass out there every time. And Navarro Bowman, all these top players like that, I don't want them to go to another team, but it wouldn't be the worst thing because they deserve so much better. And the fact that we're tanking and there's no talent anywhere on the team, and Carlos Hyde getting injured too much, don't know where the quarterback's position's at. The team is the biggest mess in the NFL. I honestly believe we're in a worse shape than the Browns. There's just so much that needs to happen, or so much up for discussion, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments. So let me know. I'll respond to all the comments. Subscribe to see more videos like this, not just the 49ers, but the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors, just any big news on any football team, any sports. I'd like to voice my opinion because I know I enjoy listening to these types of videos, and I know there has to be other people out there who do as well, to know they're not alone with the viewpoints that they have. Sitting at the TV, getting angry at certain play calls for our beloved teams, or just things that we think should happen. Just know that there's other people that have the same viewpoints, and you're not alone. And try to get the opinions out there, even though they might not make a difference. But it's a good discussion. With that being said, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, have a good one.